Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Interactive Education, running for the best education possible from the student to the student. And today we will be discussing the last portion of this chapter, Heredity and Evolution, and that is human evolution. Now, after we've studied the different kinds of evolution, how evolution takes place, the different factors which affect evolution, now we're going to study the human evolution process, the process by which we human beings have evolved on this earth. Now we use various factors to try to trace back evolutionary relationships in human beings. This includes time dating. We date back time. We try to study the evolution of organisms, evolution of human beings back in time from we being apes, not apes exactly, but being indigenous people, and then now we becoming civilized human beings. So time dating. Then we talk about excavation. We use excavation. We dig up the earth, try to find fossils, remains of older types of human beings, try to compare their body designs with what we have as body designs at the present time. We also go for fossil studies, studying fossils, that is, fossils related to us or fossils which have similar design to us. We look for different fossils, different remains of organisms in the past, and try to compare them with the present body design of human beings. We also look for morphological factors which include your homologous and analogous organs, right? Homologous and analogous organs. We try to study these factors and try to find similarities and differences between organisms and human beings. And we try to find out those evolutionary relationships between organisms, especially human beings and other animals. And finally, we study embryological factors, that is the embryo, the study of the embryonic stage of the organism. So we try to compare our embryonic stage of human beings with the embryonic stage of other organisms and try to compare them. What similarities do we see? Do we see any similarities in the base embryo, right? So in this way, we try to find similarities in the embryological stage of organisms and thus try to find out evolutionary relationships between organisms, right? So we use these factors to study human evolution. Now we are all human beings, and we may be from different parts of the world. We may be from India, from China, or from anywhere else, but we are all part of the same species of organisms, that is Homo sapiens, right? We are all part of the species Homo sapiens, right? And we are similar enough to breed and perpetuate. We have the same body design, and we are able to interbreed amongst ourselves to produce fertile offsprings. So let's take an example. We can have a Chinese boy and an Indian boy. Now, they may look different from each other because the Chinese boy may have other forms of eyes, may have other forms of his face, but the Indian boy too may have differences, right? In the phenotypic form, whatever we see visibly. But again, their internal body design is same. They have the same number of chromosomes in their cells. They have the same biochemical structure. So basically, their basic structure is same, right? Their constitution of the body is same. And if you take a Chinese girl and if you, Chinese girl and Indian boy or any girl and boy across the world try to reproduce, they will be able to produce fertile offsprings, and hence they are able to breed and perpetuate because they are similar enough to do so, right? Hence they are classified in the same species, that is Homo sapiens, despite differences in various aspects such as eye color, hair color, face arrangement, eye looks, etc. So despite all these factors, we still classify them in the same species, Homo sapiens, because they are able to breed and produce fertile offsprings amongst themselves despite these differences, and hence they have the same body design as well, right? Same body constitution, same basic body design, right? So that is why we classify them in the same species, that is Homo sapiens. Now, if we try to date back the process of evolution, basically it's not so complex. We all have evolved from our ancestors in Africa, right? So we have used the various factors which we use to study human evolution, and we have seen that we have all evolved from ancestors in Africa, right? Now these African ancestors then started moving to different parts of the world. So some moved north, right? Others moved south, some went east, some went west. Okay, so they went to different parts of the world, right? And they went to different parts of the world. Obviously, they were not traveling for the sake of traveling. It was because they wanted better living conditions, better standards of living, better livelihoods, etc. And for that, they went to different parts of the world to find habitat, better habitat. So some went to Africa, sorry, they were in Africa, some went to Asia, some went to the Americas, some went to the Philippines. So they went to these different parts of the world, and there they developed their own culture, heritage, traditions, etc. And there was local breeding, and there were different traits which came up in these populations. Though they were from the same common ancestor, they developed different characteristics such as eye color, hair color. They also developed different cultures, traditions, and rituals in their own areas of habitation, right? So despite their common origin in Africa, there were differences which were created, and this was all because of the movement of our ancestors, that is our older generation, from Africa to different parts of the world in search of better livelihood, better living conditions, and better places to live, right? So with this, we conclude our chapter on human evolution, lecture on human evolution, and we hence conclude the chapter heredity and evolution. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'm very, very sorry for uploading this part of the video very late because I completely forgot that this was left. So thank you very much for joining me. Goodbye. Stay healthy, stay smart. Any kind of doubts are welcome in the comment section below. I wish you all the best for your examinations. Stay healthy, stay smart, and do keep studying. Bye-bye.